My name is Jack Ma, and my life began with rejection. It seems like everywhere I turned, the door was slammed in my face. I failed my primary school exams, not once, but twice. I failed my middle school exams 3 times. When it came to university entrance exams, I failed those 3 times as well. After finally graduating, I applied for over 30 different jobs, and every single one rejected me. I even tried to get a job at KFC. 24 people applied, and 23 were hired. I was the only one they turned away. I wanted to be a police officer, but they said I was no good. I even applied to Harvard, one of the most prestigious universities in the world. I applied 10 times, and 10 times they sent me a letter saying no. Every no felt like a punch, but with every punch, I learned to stand up a little taller. Rejection wasn't just a closed door, it was a classroom. It taught me resilience. It taught me humility, and most importantly, it taught me that failure is not the end of the road, but a detour that forces you to find a new path. I grew up in Hangzhou, China. My family didn't have much money. We lived in a small apartment, and the world around me felt filled with limits. But I had a secret window to a bigger world, English. I wasn't naturally gifted at it, but I was obsessed. I would ride my bicycle for 45 minutes every morning, rain or shine, to a hotel near Hangzhou's West Lake, just to practice with foreign tourists. For 9 years, I offered free tours in exchange for English lessons. This wasn't about acing a test. It was about connecting with people, with ideas, with a sense of possibility that stretched far beyond my neighborhood. This passion for connection eventually led me to become an English teacher. I didn't make much money, earning only about $12 a month, but I was rich in passion. I loved teaching, loved sharing knowledge, and loved opening my students' minds to new perspectives. I thought this would be my life, and I was content with it. But fate had a different plan for me. In 1995, I had the opportunity to visit the United States as a translator for a Chinese delegation. It was there, in Seattle, that a friend introduced me to something that would change my life forever, the internet. He showed me how to use a web browser. I was hesitant at first, a little scared to even touch the keyboard. My friend encouraged me, saying, "Just search for whatever you want." The first word I typed was beer. I saw German beer, American beer, Japanese beer, but no Chinese beer. I then searched for China. The result, no data, nothing. It was as if my country, with its billions of people and thousands of years of history, didn't exist in this new digital world. At that moment, a light bulb went off in my head. This wasn't just a void, it was an opportunity, a massive, world-changing opportunity. I knew right then and there that I had to bring the internet to China and China to the internet. I had to create a space for Chinese businesses, for Chinese culture, for the Chinese people to be seen and heard on this global stage. This was my chance. This was my calling. I returned home, my mind buzzing with this new idea. In 1999, I gathered 17 of my friends and students in my small apartment. I stood before them and laid out my vision. I told them we were going to build an e-commerce company, a marketplace to connect Chinese small businesses with the world. We had no money to speak of. I managed to scrape together about $20,000, but it was nowhere near enough. We had no powerful connections. We had no advanced technology. All we had was a shared apartment, a rickety internet connection, and an unshakable belief in a dream that seemed absolutely insane to everyone else. People called us crazy. They laughed at us. So-called experts said we would fail spectacularly. They said China wasn't ready for e-commerce. They claimed that without a system for online payments and reliable logistics, the whole idea was impossible. They said I knew nothing about technology, which was true. I was just an English teacher. But they were wrong about one crucial thing, the power of belief. They underestimated our determination. The early days were incredibly tough. We worked around the clock, fueled by instant noodles and sheer grit. I told my team we had to think globally from day one. Our competitors weren't in Hangzhou, they were in Silicon Valley. We had to work with the same passion and drive as them, but with a fraction of the resources. There were countless moments of doubt, moments when failure seemed not just possible, but inevitable. We couldn't find investors. For the first 3 years, we didn't make a single dollar in profit. It was a constant struggle for survival, but we refused to give up. We focused on our customers, the small and medium-sized enterprises that nobody else was paying attention to. We built a platform based on trust, creating systems like Alipay to solve the payment problem that everyone said was unsolvable. We built a community. Slowly, painstakingly, we started to gain traction. The trickle of users became a stream. and then a river. We were proving the doubters wrong, one transaction at a time. Today, people look at Alibaba and see a global behemoth, a giant in business, technology, and innovation. They see the towering success, but what they don't see are the years I spent wrestling with fear, battling doubt, and picking myself up after countless failures. They don't see the nights I spent staring at the ceiling, wondering if I had made a terrible mistake, if I was leading my friends and my family off a cliff. Success didn't come from a place of unshakable confidence. It came from courage, the courage to act despite being terrified, the courage to keep moving forward when every instinct tells you to turn back. Failure wasn't just a part of my story. It was the architect of my story. Failure shaped me. Failure built my character. Failure taught me the most profound truth I know. If you never give up, you still have a chance. Giving up is the greatest failure of all. So when people ask me for the secret to my success, I tell them this: embrace rejection. Learn from it. Let it make you stronger. Believe in your vision, even when no one else does. Surround yourself with people who share your passion. And no matter how many times you get knocked down, no matter how many doors are slammed in your face, find the strength to get up one more time. I'm Jack Ma. My journey wasn't about avoiding failure. It was about learning to thrive on it. And it was rejection that ultimately made me, and my dream, unstoppable. Thank you for listening.